Hello everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and welcome to another Jin guide, and this one is going to be very special. Before we begin, I would like to thank Hassan for the kindly donation. For those who doesn't know, Hassan was kind enough to provide me with a PlayStation Plus card in order to play online, so I will be able to play some guys in the near future, even if I can't do it from my house because my internet is pretty laggy, but I'm still going to play it. And in this Saturday I'm going to be at someone's house in order to give some rounds to Hassan and play with him and teach him some Jin personally, and it's going to be great. I will also try to play some guys online, anyone that can have a really good connection, so I will try to give some games to them as well. So a special thanks to Hassan for the donation. It's something that I really wasn't expecting, and thank you for supporting the channel. This means a lot to me. So this one is especially for you. It's a video where I will explain my own set of rules to play Tekken 7, especially as a Jin main. So the topic today are three topics. The first one is damage, the second one is spacing, and the third one is plus moves. In the damage session, we will talk about how do you manage your damage, the health. We will talk about electric windhook fists and versus can-cans. We will talk about damage stacking. Damage stacking is something I like to call about you do minimal damage with moves that doesn't do a lot of damage, which is not beyond acceptable. But if they take a cumulative of those, usually two of these, or a cumulative of a combination of one and a different combo, it results in a lot of damage. We will also talk about equivalence. Equivalence is what the stack in these combinations can do. We will talk about spacing. We will talk about how backdash is, what's good about backdashes, and then we will talk about electric windhook fist versus can-can in spacing. We also will talk about proper spacing. We will also talk about, in the third topic, plus moves, on how Jin fare well with plus moves, and sometimes you need to make some decisions in order to get better results. So this is going to be all that is going to be in this video, so hope you guys enjoy. This is for you guys. So let's start with the first one. The first one is damage, so let's start with the health. Health in Tekken is about 170 points of damage. So as a Jin main, Jin is a character that has a way above average damage, because he can get like 60 easy, and if you push really hard with the character you can get to 70 or beyond. So I'm doing this on a wally stage, but I have already some scored points for you guys, in order to avoid keeping to switch stages to do some of the other stuff. But it would be nice if I could switch, so I could show you a few of the things that what I mean. Okay, let's start. So health in Tekken is 170, so any damage you do in Tekken that does at least 60 damage is great, is pretty good, because this means that if you land the same move for a combo 3 times for 60 damage, you win, because 60, if you multiply that by 3, you get like 180 of damage, and Tekken has like, it's like 10 points more than the current health in Tekken. So what are Jin 60 plus damaging moves? 443 combo, this one right here, this is 64, so this is acceptable. It's a lot of damage, and this is pretty much regular with Jin. There is this, sorry, this one is 65, it's also good. There is also this is pretty much the usual stuff. This is the stuff you can get all the time. Of course you can replace this combo right here with a world carry version for the wall, which also does 65. I just didn't, it only did 62 because I missed the electric right there. If you can do an electric out of this one, you will get a lot more damage. 65. So these are the two main staples of Jin combos if you try to hit someone from crouching or day crouching. So we're not going to talk about yes, we will. So moving on, the only combos that is acceptable to do lower damage for me, in my opinion, these are CD4. So this one is allowed to do 42, and this one is allowed to do 48. So we're going to get into this later on when we talk about stack and why this is okay. Why this is okay for Jin. There is also counter hit 4 into back to 1. This one right here, this is also allowed to do 53. We will also get into that, but moving on in the damaging section, we talked about that anything that does 60 for Jin is good. So this is your best launcher because this one does 79. Okay, as you guys see, 79 damage, and it's not even counter hit. So if you do a counter hit, it goes for 80 damage. You just hit 80 damage out of this. So this is your best launcher, and it's something that you shouldn't be afraid to use, especially if you get a chance to use, mix it with this. Okay, we will also talk about it when we get into the stack, into the damaging stack. So, and now we can talk about the can-cans versus the electric winds hook fist. Electric wind hook fists are good, really good. They are a neutral hit launcher, natural hit launcher, meaning that if you cut someone on a powerful whiff, this is a really strong combo. There is of course the $100 combo, which is super difficult to do. It requires some concentration. As you can see, I'm dropping. It's not really easy to do, but it's something that every Jin that reach this state call it microdash. So microdash are good, and if you can't do with the microdash combo, no stress, because stick to the practical ones. The practical ones are still going to kill if you do it 3 times, just as the $100 combos. So the idea is to build up your Jin to do microdashes along the way. There are plenty of combos with microdashes out there that Jin has, and you can do a lot of them and build it up to the $100 combo. So the thing is, while electric is good, it's a tool that requires a lot of execution and requires a lot of knowledge to properly use. This is where can works instead of electric wind hook fist. First off is that can also can reach 70 damage on counter hit, and when not counter hit, it gets easily to 69, which is like close. This is 69 with a wall carry. If you get to the wall, it gets 70, but there is a way to make this 70 even without counter hit. You just do one knee and you get 70 damage. So this is the equivalent of a $100 combo. So why would you bother doing this? Like, why would you bother doing this if you can do this much easier? Why would you bother with this? There is a necessity, of course, but this is something that you're going to practice at your own pace, and you will get it eventually. There is plenty of videos of mine actually explaining how to do micro dashes in Jin, how to get the timing down, even videos with audio cues. If you search around in the channel, you will find it. There is a lot of it, like maybe 3 videos or 4 where I talk about how to do $100 combos in many different ways. Moving on, so 70 damage is good, but if you can do it, even if you can do electric, even if you cannot do the $100 combos, there are combos that don't require microdash that are just as good. Okay, I'm going to show you a clear example of a combo that does beyond 60 damage, and it's pretty good, but many people don't like it because they think the damage is not optimal. This is pretty optimal. Sorry. $62. This is 60 damage plus 2, so 3 of these combos kill. Let's see another one. This combo is 61. 3 of these combos will kill the opponent, even if it's not a counter hit. So no matter what, if you hit these 3 times, you win. You actually will win. Do you know Jin, I actually admire a lot, that only has this combo. It doesn't even does microdash. It doesn't do microdashes. His main electric wind hoof fist combo is this one, and he wins a lot of games. He's one of my favorite Jins ever. Is orange. Orange doesn't have a microdash combo like cherry berry mango does, knee does, like many other today's Jins like Shuri, Taco, even Arcelas and Shikurin can do microdashes and $100 combos, but Orange is such an OD player. He cannot do them. He doesn't risk getting to that level. He thinks the execution is way too high for his liking, so he stick to 61 and he wins. So that's the point of this. There are plenty ways of getting 70 damage even if you don't get the electric. You have Kankan for that as well. Kankan will also do this work. So moving on into the damaging, it's not always necessary to have electrics. Electric is good, but you won't going to use most of the time. Most of the time you will be using Kankans. Mostly every time. Kankans are much easier to do, and there are even some black punishes where you're going to use Kankans. Most of the time the damage you get from Kankans is pretty good. So on stages that doesn't have a wall, when you do a Kankan, always do this combo. This is guaranteed 70 always. And now we can talk about something that is still about damage, but is an evolution of that. We're going to talk about rage. Jin with rage. Jin with rage, as I said on a previous video, is a different character, and I'm explaining this again because there is a few things that changes a lot with Jin when he has access to rage. So I'm going to show you a few combos that I changed it up into my arsenal as of now. There is this combo. This is like 63 damage, and sometimes if you don't do the dash deep enough, you get a different tender. I'm very laggy today. So 63, as you guys seen, 63 damage. So if you get the dash deep enough, you get 67. So this is like a discount version of $100 combos, right? So the combo I switched it up today is this one. This is 68. 68 is a lot. It's almost like hitting Kankans into this combo right here, which is 69. So it's 1 damage less. So this is my now go-to BNB when I hit a 4-4 without Zen. So this is huge for me, and I've been getting a lot of mileage with this. So I will show you why I am explaining you this today and why I changed it up with the previous combo. When you get access to rage, anything you do is going to change. That's why, because Jin electric by itself is pretty different when it has rage. The wind hook fist does 22 damage, and the electric version does 27. And if you hit a counter hit, the windhook fist version will do 26, which is more than the regular electric, and the electric version will do 33 damage by itself. So this is a lot. So if you hit someone with this 70 damage easily. If you hit someone with this 71 damage, are you guys starting to see the pattern here? So when you get rage, you can get 70 damage many ways. So anything you hit 3 times, imagining that the opponent has full health. Okay, I'm saying you are at disadvantage. You took a 50-50 and you 8 damage, and then you triggered rage. Now your opponent is full health, so you have 3 chances to kill them with 3 different combos. So what combos would you do? I will definitely do this. I will definitely do this. 64 is a lot. Is a lot. Check this one. 69. So this is now doing what Can does. And this one, this is hitting like a Yashi electric windhook fist combo without rage. So this is good with Jin. Pretty good. Of course that when you have access to rage, you need to land the many hits as possible. So do anything that does a walk carry, and it will do a lot of damage. The combo I showed you before also get a lot of melee with this. 72. See? 70 damage easy, and I didn't even need to do like $100 combos, which tends to drop a lot unless you practice. Of course the damage is great, but yet guys, this is a gold mine of damage when Jin has access to rage. So you don't always need to land electric windhook fists to win. There is Can-Cans for that. Can-Cans get a lot of melee as well, and I'm starting to use electrics mostly and only when I get that huge opening, which we're going to get into that as well, but not right now. So we covered health, damage, rage. Electric windhook fist is good, but not always necessary. I cannot microdash, stick to practical. So now we can talk about stacks. What do I call stacks? I've heard a lot of talking in the Jin community about how useless some of his moves are, like insignificant damage. 2-4 doesn't do as much damage. Of course, it's only 29, right? Only 29 damage. We'll get into that. Like this one, it's only 30 damage. The electric windhook fist with rage and counter hit does more than that. That's 3 point more. So let's talk about 2-4, guys. 2-4 is 10 frames, right? It's a 10 frame. Of course it has a short range, but it's 10 frames and thus 29. Did you ever wonder if you do like this twice, you connect this twice against someone and suddenly you get like 58 damage? Don't believe me? I'm going to show you an equivalent of doing 2-4 twice in a row. Like you do 2-4 twice, it's more than the combo I'm going to do right now. Remember this combo? Sorry. This combo does 53. If you do 2-4 twice, it's more than this combo. But this combo is also a combo that can stack. If you do like twice this combo, then you get like 106 damage, which is like more than half of life in Tekken is 85, guys. So if you do like counter hit 4 twice into back to 1-4 into down back 2-3, it's 53, which is like 106 damage on their stubbornness of keep charging at you with something that you can counter hit with 4 and then you do this combo like twice in a row, then you get like 106 damage. It's something that just stack it. It builds up. It's a cumulative damage, something to keep yourself for doing stupid mistakes like this doesn't do as much damage, so I'm going to take more risks. Don't do that, you don't need it. Another thing about 2-4, as you said, so this is like 29, 58, and you keep adding up to that. So now 29, 58, and now you add another more like 50, 70, 80, I believe is 90 something, around this number, or even more. Okay, 3 times for a 10 frames. And there is not only that, this move alone is also a strong 50-50 startup, so it gives you a chance to start mixing up, gives you the chance to mix up with wave dash. You can wave dash out of 2-4, and then you mix up people, and you get like this. You can also like bait out wake ups with it. I'm going to show you right now. Let's say they wake up with a mid kick, for example. So you do this. Nope, this is wrong, so there is no back row. So you do this, and then you get like you already in range of lifting them up with something. If you especially if you know exactly where you need to be, you are going to get a lot of mileage in any way. Even if it's a low kick, it's even worse, because even if it's a low kick, it's even worse. You can even counter hit them with 4. See, counter hit them with down back 4. I did this a few times ago and it actually worked. So see, you get a lot of mileage out of it trying to break your 50-50 with something else. It happens a lot. There is also the recovery kick. You can even electric this, but I'm dropping a lot today. But why? So anyway, so this is 2-4. Now another thing I didn't talk to you about 2-4. I'm going to show you. Memorize this. Let's say memorize this. Your opponent, memorize this. 2-4 does 29 damage, right? Now add this to it. So you get 64 plus 29. What you get? You get 70 something or far more, right? So you do this, and let's say it lands. Let's say they wake up ducking, for example. A lot of people like to duck against Jin because of CD force. So you punish with this, and they duck it, and suddenly you just did a lot of damage. Like it's 64, replace the 4 with 9, you get 69, replace with the 2, you get 6, 7, 82, 89, plus the 4 before, you get like 83 damage of this. So I'm just doing some quick math right here. So you do this, and then you get like 83 damage, which is almost half, almost 2 points away from being half of their health out of a 10 frame. Isn't that great? So 2-4, it starts on anything you do. Like let's say they wake up standing this time, Now add 29 to this, and what you get? 40, 60, 50, 69. 69 plus 8. You will get like 76 or 77. 77. And 77 in Tekken is like check my notes. So 77 is equivalent of doing this. This is the wall damage of a 2-4 into a CD4 combo. This is the whole damage of it. So it's something that you need to consider. So 2-4 is not insignificant at all. For a move that does 29 damage and add you a 50-50 mix up right from the start. So anything you do, any launcher you get after this hits, it's going to be huge. It doesn't matter the number. If it's 40, if it's 50, you add the 29 you did before and you get a lot of damage for a 10 frames. A lot of damage, because you get the 50-50 plus the damage. So this is good. This is pretty good. This covers up the stack in the equivalence. Of course, I already talked about 2-4 twice is 29, and if you do it twice, it's far more than the counter hit fall into back to 1 combo. So 2-4 is twice is more damaging than that. If you do 2-4 into 4-4-3 combo, it's the equivalent of a $100 combos with a wall splat into a down back 2-3 at the lowest point. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. So think like this. If you do this combo, they hit the wall and then you go there and do this. Okay, so it's like 93 damage. 93. It's almost, if not the equivalent of doing this. Or just as close. Okay, 60, it's 60 plus 2, which is 70, 84, and now you replace that with 9, you get like 83. So it's like 10 points less, but it's still pretty good. Really good. So 83 damage is almost half, and then you get like 2-4 into CD4 we already covered, which is a lot. If you hit like CD4 twice as well, CD4 twice, the damage is 96. This is why Newton called this the win button, because there is a lot of way of mixing someone up into CD4. You can actually continue making them guess on different timings and where do they need to crouch to block this, and you can even choose to only do CD4 when they stand up. If you don't want to guess, wait for them to stand up, then you do the CD4, because once they crouch, they will feel, no, I'm not getting hit by that, and then they stand to block the mid, and when they block the mid, they're going to get launched by default. This happens a lot to a lot of people. Moving on to topic 2, we're going to cover now spacing. Spacing is, of course, I released the video about how to avoid anything in Tekken, meaning that you need to know the spacing or the range of the moves of the opponent. This is true. You need to know how to move, doing Korean backdashes and such. You also need to know when to stop. When to stop means proper spacing. So we are already covering proper spacing. Proper spacing is you hit a move or you move just enough to produce a certain width. So if your opponent is like trying to reach you with the best move that it will reach you at some distance, and like let's say you hit a 2-4 and then you do a backdash, some moves are going to whiff right here exactly, and anything that comes from this range, that reaches this range, may come out even a little bit slower than counter hit 4. So this is probably going to hit on counter hit if they try anything slower. So they tend to do something much faster And when they do it this something much faster, you get to launch them with cans, or of course with electric wind hook fist. So this is what proper spacing means. Proper spacing means you just be at the right range to avoid a specific move or the necessary moves that come faster for this range, and they will all stop right in front of you. And when this happens, you get that opening you so much want, and you can them out of it for a full combo punish. Or if you feel like too godlike, you can also electric wind hook fist people out of it. But I prefer cans. Cans are pretty good, like pretty hard to whiff, and sometimes I only do electrics because people are just too far, and electrics has that range that melee can doesn't have. So you can hit people from here, almost like from here. Yes, you can, and they are stacked it. So if you do like a double backdash and they put a move in this range, I'm going to show you real quick, right, what I mean. Let's say the opponent does this. Yes, this is what I want. So I'm going to record this really quick. See? There you can take advantage of this opening, just enough for them to whiff. See? See? So this is what proper spacing means. It means that you just step right in the range of you want things to whiff, and anything that comes in front of you is ready to be encountered. You don't even need to kill yourself to use an electric wind hook fist. It will come out naturally. So electric wind hook fist versus cans in spacing games. Electrics are harder to do in spacing games, a lot harder, unless you have proper spacing, like you know exactly when to stop to give this stuff a try. It's going to be extremely difficult. So in my opinion, you should stick to moves like cans. If you produce a good whiff, can is one of your best options, not only for block punishing but for whiff punishing in general. There is a lot of things that people tend to whiff for certain ranges, and then you just hit them with like, for example, I hit a 2-1 and this guy trying to do this, for example. So let's say I hit 2-1 and he does this, for example. So I hit 2-1. See, I already produced some whiff in order to get a counter hit. See, so I do this. This happens a lot. See, you can even do with one. See, just one. And there is a lot of moves that you can do in simple set. Of course, I'm trying something stupid right here, but the idea is exactly this one. I'm going to show you what I mean with a proper video right after this. So this is spacing. Backdash is good, but just be careful to not corner yourself. So there are times where you want to press forward, so this helps a lot to pressing forward. And this is also a stack because forward 4 is 21 damage, so this stacks into whatever you're going to do if this launches. So if this launches, it's 79 plus 21, so it's like 90 damage, let's say 80, 90, 100 damage. If this hit like this, full hit, this is 100 damage, totally 100 damage. So this is insane. Yes, so this is a move that pushes some characters away. Of course, people on a more advanced level will people will just crouch this or try to step it. But the point is, this is a really strong mix-up. You can just do forward 4 zen with nothing, forward 4 zen into CD4, forward 4 zen into wave dash. It's also possible. You can do forward 4 zen into CD4, forward 4 zen into electric winded fist. If you can cancel into wave dash just as fast, it's possible. There is also Shikurin's Nirvana state, which is cancelling this with a wave, with a crouching, in order to beat people trying to attack low right after. Let's say they block 4 and try to hit this. So we did this. So this is what people call Shikurin Nirvana state, because there was a time he had literally no openings, and he actually was one of the few gens that could do forward 4 zen at will, and people that tried to hit him with lows would do this most of the time. So shout out to Shikurin. Hope we can talk sometimes again soon. Your English is starting to get pretty good. So this covers spacing. There is a lot to spacing, but I'm going to show you with proper video what I mean with proper spacing, what's good on where you should hit with electric window fist, or it's more about big openings. And sometimes when you produce enough width, can should do most of the trick. And of course the plus frames is of course one of the most hardest parts of the game. So should you rely on plus frames? The ones that I think that you should rely is 444. A lot of people that tend to dark Jin a lot are going to get hit by this, and when they don't, they're still going to get put into disadvantage. So you use this to move yourself forward, in order to create some space, because of course most of the time you will be trying to bait people out. But this is plus, it's pretty plus, and it's kinda hard to beat with any follow-up. Mostly of your counter hit launchers are going to either trade or win most of the time. There is also this one. This one is also good, but people tend to duck this a lot, so don't be afraid to throw this one with a forward 4 or with a CD1. You will catch people if they are too eager to react to it by ducking into something. Sometimes people react to wave dash into forward 4-3 and wave dash into CD4. So if you just hit 4-4-3, you're going to catch people trying to duck most of the time. This happens a lot. Another plus flames that I don't think they are too reliable. It's kind of dependable of the people you're playing against. It's 2-1. 2-1 is plus 6. So instead of pressing forward most of the time, sometimes I do backdash. So when they press a button, especially at this range, anything mostly will whiff, so I can count launch it. And sometimes I just step away and they try to charge in, and then I hit them with electric windhook fist. Also works. Sometimes I go to side steps, and people that like to mash 1-2 jabs, either whips. And when it whips, I get an electric wind hook fist from each side, even on block. There is also back to one. Back to one is only +2 on block, so don't rely much on follow-ups. After this, people tend to press too many buttons, so if you do a backdash, you get into the round starting spaces, so anything they do from that range is going to whiff anyway. So take this to launch them with a can as well. Same concept can be applied to down back 4, also step back. Don't always rush in or try a counter hit. If you step back after these moves, it's not that you are giving up on plus frames, but you are baiting stuff out. Most people in Tekken are unaware of spacing. Spacing is something that I only realized how it works right now. So moves in Tekken, either hit or block it, will always create some sort of spacing, and if you know that spacing exactly how it can be, your next backdash is probably going to decide how further you can move away from someone. So if they press a button in the heat of the moment, trying to react to what mostly people do, which is like you hit something, you press forward, you move in, you attack with anything you do. But if you move backwards, you often will see people pressing buttons and whiffing things in front of you, and it's just hilarious, guys, because you can get a lot of launch just by this. I've been doing this in the past few weeks, and it's been one hell of a ride. So this covers the plus frames. The title I wrote for this to remember myself is, not every plus frames are worth changing. Not all this plus move is worth charging forward. So meaning that if you hit back to one, sometimes it's good to step away, so you can see if they press a button, you get even a much bigger launcher, something that is going to be even greater than your counter hit fishing. And most people tend to press quick buttons. So you do this, you step away, you do this, you step away, you do this, you step away. And these moves already create some sort of pushback anyway. So when you step away on hit, you get into desired range, especially if you do like a double. You get into a range where you can whiff punish mostly anything. Yeah, this covers up the video. So the segment that follows below are practical uses, something I've been collecting through my latest matches, and are just some example of the things that I've been getting with a lot of millaging, spacing, damage in general, and was getting a lot of wins, like lots of wins of when I started to apply my own set of rules to play Tekken 7. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Your help, your support is always appreciated. Thank you for sticking with me until now. It's been one hell of a ride, and I will be keeping updating you with anything I find useful for you. I also play Kazumi and Master Ravens. Maybe in the future I'll start making guides for them as well. Let's see. I'm not done with Jin yet, and I will not be done with Jin because he's actually my main character. But if you are looking up to Master Raven and Kazumi, this might be a channel to look up in the future. So enjoy the rest of the video.